You really ruined it for me, letting me know that Taskmaster's a woman. It's not like the comics. Thank
Sorry,
you.
bro. I had to do it.
But at least he didn't review who or what.
Ooh. You really
I didn't say, well, I didn't say it was.
She was.
Yeah.
Man.
I didn't tell you it was that main character.
It's the mom, isn't it?
No, it was that.
It's the damn mom. It's the mom, right?
No, it was.
It's the mom. It's the damn mom.
I don't know what's going on, but I can't hear Sandy every time she tries to say who it was. Sandy, it was.
Just tell me.
You guys are nerds.
We're trying to let you know that it's.
It's the mom, though, right? Just tell me it's the mom.
Okay, welcome to Backspace Nerds, another episode in. And what are we doing today? We're doing movies. It's movie time.
Backspace Nerds to the movies, giving the latest reviews, ratings from nerd glasses to pocket protectors, giving in-depth opinions. Backspace Nerds to the movies.
Backspace Nerds at the movies. And what are we reviewing today, Sandy?
Black Widow.
Black Widow. Marvel's Black Widow. Released both on Disney Plus and theaters, where the majority of people saw it on Disney Plus and theaters took a dive.
I went to the theater for the first time in forever.
That's great, though.
Yeah,
I mean,
I went to Disney Plus.
I went the third route, and
Everyone was wearing a mask, which was kind of annoying. And someone farted behind me. So
That's
I
movies
wish
in
I
New
had
York.
my mask on. It was kind of bad. I heard a couple of people coughing. The guy behind me farted.
How do you know he farted?
What was it? The guy behind or the person in front? It was definitely not me.
But why would you make you think that they farted?
Because it smelled like a fart. Someone dropped their guts. Okay.
How do you know it wasn't butter?
Yeah. What if it was bad popcorn?
Anyway, it was like pre-arranged seating, and when we got there on the dot, thinking, "Oh wow, this is sweet. There's no one in front of us, no one at the back, no one on the sides." And then within 15 minutes, the whole entire cinema theater was completely full.
When we do our reviews, Sandy does nerd glasses, but me and Bobby do pocket protectors. So we're rating the best out of 5 pocket protectors. Each of us is going to take a turn on the review of this film, Black Widow. What were you saying about Taskmaster?
I'm telling you, I think Taskmaster might be the best Marvel villain ever created. At least, yeah, all right.
I think Taskmaster might be the best Marvel villain ever created. Best Marvel villain ever created.
I'm not saying the best villain ever. I'm just saying the way they revamped them. They took a traditional type character and they modernized them. Like these.
Man, if only you see the ending.
Oh!
Damn it. And so we kick it off with Sandy telling us what you thought of this film, Black Widow.
I am huge in women empowerment, and the fact that Scarlett Johannson finally gets her own movie, that made me really, really, really happy. And I'm a bit of analytic person as well. So for the first week, they made $80 million in the box office in the opening weekend. They also made, I think, $60 million in the streaming sales, Disney Plus or something. I think that was where it was streamed on. So I'm extremely proud of this movie. It's female lead, Marvel, and made so much money. Just speaks volume that, just because you're a woman, that, doesn't mean your movie is going to be crap. So it's amazing. I love that. I really love the casting. I thought it was really good casting. The little girl looked just like what Scarlett Johannson would look like when she was a kid, with the big lips and the eyes. It was really, really good casting. One of the things I noticed was, how did she get all those shots out of the box before jumping into the river? I don't know if you remember that scene. So she was fighting the bad guy. I can't remember his name. Like on the bridge. Yes. And you know, there were those what are those shots called?
The red cure thing that was.
How did she remove that out the box?
Yeah, it was inside a box before she jumped off the bridge.
She was kicked
because she's the Black Widow.
I don't know. And then when she finally met up with her sister, that fight scene was freaking incredible. In the kitchen, you know, like in the house, and they were just, you know, obviously the stunt women did it, and kudos to them. Got to give credits to the people behind the scene. I thought that was really, really well done. And the little sister, like her younger sister, was absolutely hilarious. Like she had a couple of killer one-liners there, just made me laugh. All Marvel movies, at the very end, you go through all the credits, 15 seconds of what's next or whatever. I always love that 15-second of, you know, the snippet of Marvel better than the movie itself. But this particular one, it was amazing. It was great. But I realized I never watched Endgame. And then I found out that she freaking died in Endgame. It made me so sad. Because I was looking at Ben, I'm like, oh my God, I wonder if they're gonna make Black Widow too. And he was like, I didn't want to say anything because she actually died in the Endgame.
Spoiler.
Wait a minute, you never saw Endgame?
No.
How does that happen? He's a fucking makes so much sense, man.
Oh my God.
I'm a type of person that will start off something and never finish it. I would read a book, but never read the last chapter.
Saw Infinity War?
Yes.
And you didn't watch Endgame?
I did not watch
the next part? Oh my
I was
God.
so sad in the theater because I didn't realize she died.
What is the point?
What was
Wait a
that?
minute, you didn't have to see Endgame because in Infinity War, she's dead. End of the movie, that's when they disappear.
I don't think I picked it up.
What is happening here? Did you see Infinity War or not?
Okay, so here's the thing about me. My attention span is not really good. Anything more than 2 hours is a bit too much for me. That's pretty much it. I really loved it. I think it was amazing, but it was more for the fact that Scarlett Johannson finally gets her own movie. I am actually going to give it 5.
What?
Card savers, because I don't have.
What?
I'm not gonna
Wait a minute. Forget about it. I can put it up on the screen. You're going to nerd glasses or you're going to pocket protectors. Which one is it?
Card savers.
No, forget about the dumb card savers.
I am going to give 5.
Wait a minute. Back up a second. Do you know that the total is 5? So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
It's not
So
1 through 10. No.
It's not through 10. It's 5 is the 5 is the best movie on the planet.
I can give multiple movies a 5-star, right?
Yes, you can.
My definition of a 5 doesn't have to be completely perfect.
Okay.
My definition of a 5 is, it was entertaining enough for me. Did I like the concept of the movie? Did I like the plot? If you want to be so technical about it, I am going to give it a 4.2.
No, it's okay. You rate it the way you want to rate it. You said 5 nerd class.
It wasn't perfect, but I enjoyed it.
But you enjoyed it. And so you
I only
give it a
fell
5.
asleep. I only fell asleep for about 2 minutes. I do that all the time. For any movies over 2 hours, I tend to fall asleep a little bit in the middle. And I fell
So
asleep for
yet
like-
again, Sandy Shock says, Bobby, can you do your no, I need to hear the breath though.
It's running out of breath.
Hold on for a second.
Sandy gives it 5 nerd glasses out of 5 for this film. Bobby, you're up.
You may think I'm going to trash this movie, but the movie's not trash. It has its own isolated storyline. It doesn't appear that's really connecting much. Really, the star for this movie right now for me is the villain. I think Taskmaster probably one, or if not the best Marvel villain I've ever seen. I absolutely love what they do to this character. You know, I love how they introduce Red Guardian as well in the beginning of the movie. I like the fact that he's a dad. You know, how he was protecting his family in the beginning, and the way they introduced him. They're in a chase. They say, "Let's go to this adventure." They get the kids into this car. Wife starts the plane, takes this gigantic dumpster truck thing in one hand and just tosses it. And you're like, "Oh, that's a man has superpowers." It just catches you off guard. Like it was just well done how they introduced him. Right? Did feel and I hate to bring up other movies, but this is what we do. It did feel a bit Jason Bourne-ish.
The fight scene.
Yeah, it did feel a bit like that, a big brother government, type thing. I mean, it felt that way. But when you put that Taskmaster into this movie, the way they modernized such a classic Marvel villain, right? By the way, that comic book up is way up now, 9.8, probably going over $3,000. Love how the weapons are internalized, and it almost does this Iron Man, effect where it comes out of his suit. I love the fact that they kept him true to his shield, even though it's a more modern version of it. I like how they designed the costume with the skull original to the original villain. I hope and I pray that there's more of that character in other Marvel films. Like they need to find a phenomenal storyline for him. That's just my opinion. If I had to rate this movie so far, right, and I see your face, so something's going on, right? But I'll give it 3 pocket protectors. I'll give it 3, and that's a decent number.
3 pocket protectors, Bobby. All right, Bobby, I'm gonna have to spoil some stuff for you. I'm sorry to do this, but I'm gonna have to spoil some stuff for you. Okay, so is that your final score?
Yeah, 3.
You'd be surprised. All these reactions I'm giving, I'm not gonna really give a bad. I'm not like gonna tear this.
You look like you were about to hammer this thing right now.
There's a lot of things that I have to say. Here is my take on the film. Now, first of all, just saying right off the bat, I'm not familiar with Black Widow. I don't really know a lot of the storyline. I don't know too much about Taskmaster. I don't know too much about Red Dawn. I don't know too much. Red Dawn, right? Is that the Red
Guardian?
Red Guardian. Sorry, Red Dawn.
This guy.
So I was like, I'm not too familiar with Red Dawn either.
Yeah. Red Guardian. I'm not familiar with any of these characters.
Red Riding Hood.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with Little Red Riding Hood. This film, I'm neither here nor there. I'm sort of in the middle about it, right? I agree with Sandy. I think that the women empowerment thing is really cool. It's directed by women. There's a lot of women main characters. I think that's good. Very similar to the Wonder Woman film. So I got a lot of those vibes from Wonder Woman. First of all, I want to give a shout out to DuckTales playing on the TV screen when the family was gathering together. I don't know if you saw that little Easter egg. DuckTales was playing on the screen in the background. This film was obviously taking place right after Civil War, between Civil War and Infinity War.
I mean, I don't want to get it wrong either.
Yeah, because we're gonna get.
I don't remember it being staged that early.
Trust me, it starts in the 90s. And
yeah,
then,
the 90s. Yes.
Right, it starts in the 90s, but then when it gets to modern day with her, she starts going into this starts taking place through that time, right after the days of Civil War. Taskmaster. I do know that Taskmaster is known for being the enemy that knows and learns everybody else's craft. I do like the fact that they modernized Taskmaster. Digitally reads and acquires them through, I think it worked. It worked in that sense. So it was actually a good thing to do it, because then you think the original concept, even though it would have been great too, is the original Taskmaster actually just learned these skills. He had to learn the actual skills to do these things. So I actually thought that was okay, that the modernization of Taskmaster. I thought the comedy with the family was just a little bit too much comedy. It was funny at first, and then, obviously everything's all based off of comic books, so it's nice to have little funny exchanges. It was just too much comedy put into the family scenes.
Do you think it's because of the pace of the movie? Gravitate to the family aspect very fast.
That's possible. I think that what they wanted to do was, we're a dysfunctional family. We're not really a family, but we're a family. You're not my father. And it's like, oh, but you listen to your mother. And it's like, it's cute and funny. But I wanted to be more real. And they got to that point where at one point the sister ended up just breaking down and saying I was the one that was treated as this super soldier when you guys left. I think they made Red Guardian a little too funny. I have to say this part, Bobby. I'm sorry, but I have to say this part.
Please.
Okay. I had a feeling that Taskmaster was actually a woman, and Taskmaster's a woman. It's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But the storyline behind Taskmaster and the age range of Taskmaster compared to the person that Taskmaster was supposed to be does not add up. There's no continuity with that. I'm a big continuity guy. I like things to be don't throw things off. Correct me if I'm wrong, but where did Ohio come from in this film? Isn't she from Russia? And isn't this whole thing based on Russia? Where the hell did they come into Ohio in any comic book ever? What sense did Ohio have to do with any? They started off with the kids in Ohio, and then all of a sudden, when they're running away, the Scarlett Johannson as a kid, all of a sudden can speak Russian, and it was just a way to kind of say, oh, hey, she knows Russian and she's Russian, but she was hiding it this whole time, as whereas the rest of them. It's just, this was my biggest problem with this whole film, being Russian. Honestly, the person that saved this film for me was Florence Pugh. It was the sister. No. Florence Pugh. She is a great actress. I don't know if it has to do with the fact that actors have made the choice to the directors or the producers to say, hey, look, I'm not good at doing an accent. I can't do it. So we're going to scrap the accent. But this girl said, I'm Russian and I'm going to stay Russian and with a Russian accent. Hey, let's look at Elizabeth Olsen. First time we saw her as Scarlet Witch, she had an accent. Every movie ever since then, I heard no accent. Halle Berry started off with an accent, and then any movie after that, she had no accent anymore. Why is it that Peter Dinklage, it is not British, by the way, has amazing accent throughout the Game of Thrones franchise, and he can hold it down?
You're in the great game now, and the great game is terrifying.
And so could the guy who plays Spike in freaking I'm going back in the day. Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Play the big strapping hero while you can. You have a few surprises coming your way.
Spike from Buffy the Vampire Slayer, he's not British, but he has a British accent through the whole series. Why is it that these people can do the work and have these accents and stick with it and other people just can't?
And stick with it and other people just can't.
Do the work. Keep the accent. This is my biggest problem with this whole thing.
David Harbour did a great accent.
Who?
David Harbour.
Yes, he did a great accent. Accent is such a big thing. That's why I really give so much credit to Florence Pugh, because she and I thought she was great, by the way. She was funny.
It's dry. It's really dry.
She was badass. She made cool little jokes like, why is it you put your hair and do this stand and do this thing?
Why do you always do that thing?
Do what?
The thing you do when you're fighting.
The thing that you do when you whip your hair when you're fighting with the arm and the hair, and you do like a fighting pose.
Sandy was saying with the extra scenes, we're probably going to see a lot more of her. So for myself, I'm actually going to rate it a 3 pocket protectors out of 5.
Put our grades together. It's a decent movie. I'm just surprised that when we logged on, I didn't see a different haircut for Sandy.
Different hair color though. Have you noticed?
I really like this Taskmaster, version. I want to see more.
It was kind of annoying for me that she was unbeatable. Annoying because they're unbeatable. Do you know what I mean? Like I always just want, like even like street fighters, you fight and you die. Like you just die already.
That's the Hulk.
That was
Superman.
That was Thor for me. It was like just die already. All right, let me change my rating now. 4 nerd glasses.
What happened?
Something happened.
You know what? I'm really kind of annoyed that Taskmaster wasn't dead.
Wow. That is how we end our episode. Sandy went from 5 down to 4 nerd glasses. Bobby gives it 3. Surprisingly, Bobby didn't go on a crazy 1 rant. Myself, I gave it 3 as well, pocket protectors. Overall, we thought the film was enjoyable. It had its good moments. It had some little issues here and there, but overall enjoyable. For myself, Bobby Torres, Sandy Kirkman, we are Backspace Nerds. Continue to do some more movie reviews. We got a couple of them coming up. We got some interviews coming up. We continue to ask you to like, subscribe, and share. Bobby, what's your handle?
Follow me on PackPoolTCG or comic_N_art.
And Sandy?
2ND Pants or Backspace Nerds.
And for myself, it's Anthony Pizarro _ my name. And we are Backspace Nerds, and we will see you in the future. Backspace Nerds out.